I'm Claire Louise Hay from BeHealing.com. Welcome to Psychic Cafe. It's Monday. Woo. New week. I'm feeling much better now. I had the flu, if you don't know, for a couple of weeks there. Oh, it feels like a long time. I've not even been training for I think I might be able to go tomorrow morning, and that will make it almost 2 weeks without no training. Oh, with no training, I mean, not without no training. Without training, with no training. But I still got a little bit going on, but it's clearing up a lot. I am happy to have a normal week of work. Hopefully that's what it's going to be. Hopefully I can get back into my other stuff. I feel like I've been isolated. I've not seen anyone. I've not been doing any of the social things. I have been out and about a little bit, just a little bit though, not wanting to overdo things, because on Friday when I worked, by the time I'd finished the pick a card read recording that, I had a headache. I needed to lay down. I started my nose running again, coughing a lot more, and I thought, oh no, I've done it too soon. I've gone back to work too soon. Hey, Kaz. But I'm feeling much better now. Much better. So hopefully I'm on the up and up now. Well, this morning I'm going to be doing some live channeling for twin flames, or those that want to get into good relationships, and see what the guides want to tell us today. I will also be giving mini reads in here as well. Morning, Belle. Mini reads for donations. If you want one of those, check out the pinned comment. The comment that's pinned up top of the live chat, that tells you how to do it. It's by donation. There's a PayPal link in there for your donation, but you can use Super Chat or Super Sticker here on YouTube if you want, if that's easier for you. After you've done your donation, put a capital Q at the start of your comment with your question in for your reading. Now, it can be very specific, your question. It can be yes or no answer question. It can be general guidance or guidance about your career or love life or whatever it is that you want. So up to you. Hey, Maria. 2 a.m. Clocks have gone forward. Oh. Well, good luck staying awake for it. Okay, so let's get some cards out. So get those donations in whenever you want, and we'll start getting cards out and see what the guides want to tell us about today. So I've been organising a lot. I've been doing a lot in the kitchen as well. Organising my kitchen, yeah, but also food prepping. I've got all of these glass portion container things, and been making more of a variety of food. Yesterday I made a bolognese sauce, and for the first time in my life I did zucchini or courgette spirals to have with it instead of pasta. I don't eat pasta a lot, but I've bought some red lentil pasta. I might start eating that a bit. Your first time here, Kaz? I recognise your name, so you're not first time to my work, but well, welcome to the cafe. This is what we do here. We chat, we see what the guides want to tell us about. I'll do mini reads. Here we go, this one's coming out. Justice. That's what we like to hear. Justice can be about making impartial decisions. The reason I say that is it came up in someone's private reading yesterday. I did a full Celtic tarot spread for somebody, and this card came out, and it was about impartial decisions. Those decisions they have to make that are the right decisions despite your feelings, In that reading, it was more about business. It was more about sometimes when you're the boss, even though you think you're going to do the right on thing once you're the boss, and, help your friends out or make sure that, everyone has got those things, all the workers there have got the things that you're complaining about that you didn't have before. But then when it comes to it and you're the boss, you realize, oh, well, I've got these deadlines and I've got things to actually achieve in this role to make the business actually work. Because if the business isn't there, if it's not sustainable and the business isn't there, then everyone misses out everything. And there's all of these good ideas that you could have, but sometimes the decisions kind of have to be more fair but firm. This is talking about us making decisions. Morning, Mandy. I'm not quite healthy yet, but I'm getting there. And this is about us making decisions not based on our heart, but based on fairness. Now, this might be fairness for you. And so this is like making decisions about time wasters, going, I cannot be hung up on you anymore. You're wasting my life. You're wasting my time, It's a waste of time. You're not stepping forward. It's that kind of justice, having to make a hard decision, but one that's better for you. That's what we're talking about today. I like it when the guides do that, when they give me something, say in a daily reading, or they give me something here in cafe, and then I make daily reads, and then some of the cards come up, and it's like, oh, I know what you're talking about now. I like it when there's a bit of follow on in my work like this. The guides make it easier for me. So yeah, I've been organising stuff. Still got lots of organisation to do in the kitchen because I'm waiting. A lot of the things that get shipped here, they come from China, and it takes ages to get through customs. But I'm waiting on like more glass jars with the bamboo tops, and what else? Pancake. Not morals, but like what your heart is saying. Or it could be someone isn't treating you quite right, and instead of just ditching them, been trying to tell them about that and waiting for them to change, that kind of thing. It's time to be ruthless and make some strategic decisions for yourself. And I was just saying, someone popped into my mind, a guy that I haven't thought of for a very long time, because it was just a guy that I was interested in. He was interested in me, but it was just the first year that I was here on the island, and I was still very much using alcohol for my trauma, for my anxiety, from my trauma. And looking back, just like an addict, I wasn't in a place to have a healthy relationship with anyone, really, because because of the alcohol, because I would put alcohol first. Really, I would. Anyway, this was a healthy dude. And I thought, it popped into my mind. I'm like, I can't even remember what his name is. But I'm like, if he came back now, yes, it would be a yes from me because he had good energy. I'm back, yeah, good. I thought so because all the messages have come through now. And then I watched the energy update. I listened to it like in the middle of the night because I needed a heap of kitchen stuff and it was on special, but between midnight and 2 a.m. So I was just presuming that I'd wake up at some point then, and I did. I woke up about 20 past midnight, bought that stuff, and then I was kind of awake because I bought that stuff. And so I listened to the energy update. Well, the energy update was saying someone comes back in and it's too late because you've already moved forward. Now, I was seeing myself on the other side of that now, that someone comes back in and it's too late. Looking at him like who he was 6 years ago, 7 years ago, I'd be like, yeah, if he came back now, yes. But of course, he might have moved forward since then. He might be. So I was seeing like the other side of it. Hi, Crystal. Seeing myself on the other side of the energy update, which is very unusual for me. It's like, oh, I'm the toxic one in this one. I'm the one that's behind. This guy, he used to get up early in the morning and go paddleboarding. Very fit and healthy. I never used to see him out, you see. He was always very interested in me, but never really took the time to fully get to know me. So I was just like, oh, it's just another one of those. That's my excuse. I didn't invest in him either, Seeing it. Second card is the Five of Wands. It's about being strategic. So it's pretty much a confirmation of what I was saying about the Justice card, that we've got to make decisions, not based on our heart and our feelings, but that is fair for us. Things that have been unfair for us, we need to make a decision that's fair for us. And no more waiting around for someone that's not doing it, or wasting your time being hung up on someone that's not moving forward, or waiting for someone to change, or waiting for someone to treat you right that hasn't been. Time to make good decisions for ourselves. Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles is the happily ever after card, but it's like building something up for yourself and a life for yourself, happy enough by yourself, and then someone coming in to add to that, not take away from that. So we've got to have really high standards, is what this is saying, and make really good decisions based on fairness for ourselves. And that fairness for ourselves might not be what you wanted to do. It might not be the right on thing. It might be the thing that you thought you'd never do, in fact. You might have said, oh, I'd never like shut someone down because they're unhealed, or I would never close my door on someone that needed my help, that kind of thing. But those things that you've said to yourself, you might want to reconsider that now and be actually a bit more strategic for yourself. You're not going to get any brownie points for that stuff of doing the right thing. You've got to do the right thing by yourself. Think of taking care of your inner child. Think of taking care of your inner child and getting your inner child into a good relationship where you can actually be loved this time. Because you're building something for the long term now. It's your future. 9 of Cups, your wishes being fulfilled. You see your heart being happy. What is it that you want in a relationship? It's time for you to get that now. And to get that now, you need to make these balanced decisions, these fair decisions that are fair for us. Temperance, yes, you might need to wait for it. You might need to be single and wait for someone that comes in and treats you right. And I know this is the problem, right? This is what I'm feeling in myself. It's like, well, I know exactly what I want, but hey, where are they? Where are they, you know? It's like I'm sat on Tinder there, and what? Bibi showed up. He's about the only one. So there's few and far between out there, and perhaps they're not putting themselves on Tinder. It could be that. But what gives, you know? What gives? So how long do I have to wait, universe? Well, perhaps it's waiting on us being ready to make some of these better decisions for ourselves, decisions that we don't really want to make, decisions that we thought went against, went against our morals or whatever. Being a bit more selfish, being a bit more taking care of ourselves, putting ourselves first. Might need to wait for it then, okay? And not succumb to the other things, the other ones. You don't wait anymore. Good, yeah. Just do you and you enjoy your single life. Yes, good for you, Crystal. That's where I'm at too. Definitely. Queen of Pentacles, being stable, like this. What Crystal just said is in this card here. Queen of Pentacles, she's stable. She's got her shit together. She's got a good life. It's like, yes, I'm very stable. I'm a good catch. I'm very stable. I've got my stability. Wifey material is what it is. Queen of Pentacles. I always see the Queen and King of Pentacles as wife and husband material. That's what you are, and you shine that energy out. And sure, the F-boys and F-girls and all of them, all the ones that you don't want, the players, the abusers, the narcissists, they ain't going to want that energy. Oh, narcissists might want it, but not when you're like Justice in the Five of Wands, when you're being strategic. You wouldn't let one of them in, right? So, Four of Swords. So rest up is what this is saying. Rest up, relax. You got that stability, enjoy that stability, and you'll need to wait until someone does. Hey, Simran. Very sensible. Very sensible reading. Okay, what else? So I was very organised at the weekend. This is why I've got this dress on. Because I sorted out my wardrobe. Did you see on social media? I was such a mess. Like I had these crappy little drawers in there that were flimsy, and that plastic that's more like paper made out of those. And it kind of organised my clothes enough when I first got them and made it tidy. But I got some big solid drawers, that stackable drawer things, and put them in there, cleared it all out, went through all my clothes, was quite ruthless about it. It's like, I'll never wear that again. It's good. I've only worn it once, but I'll never wear it again. Some of it I sold. Some of it, well, I put for sale on Facebook. But most of it I just put in bags and in a laundry basket that was here, taking up space that I'll never use. And when I was ready to put it out, the guy who manages this place was right outside along with the staff who's out there. And I said, hey, I've got all of this stuff. I don't know what to do with it. Do the staff want it? Because there's no op shops or charity shops or anywhere to give anything like that. But the Burmese people, they need stuff like that, and they're welcome, to my clothes and stuff, my old clothes. So I'm like, do the staff want these? Like, give them to the friends, whatever. And he's like, yeah, let's take it all. And gave them the shelf things too. And so that was easy. So now I know what the clothes I've got. And I haven't worn this. I haven't worn this before. I got it ages ago. I wore the black one. Thanks, Mandy. Yeah, I got a black one, which I've worn before. This. I also found a green mermaid silk dress. Because one of those silk, the crumpled silk dresses that you kind of twist up to store and tie in a knot. It's just like shoved at the back of one of my drawers. I'm like, my God, that's such a beautiful dress. So I'm going to wear that soon too. Perhaps on a night out or something, I don't know. If I even want to go out. I don't even want to drink anymore. And I went swimming yesterday. I swam laps. I measured out the pool. There's lots of pools here in this resort. It's huge. But there's a long dive pool, but it's 25 meters from where the kids area ends to the end. 25 meters. I did my iPhone thing, measure it. And then swam laps because I got myself a new swimming costume with arms in it, like a proper swimming costume. Keep the sun off and everything. And new goggles when I went for my dentist trip because I was going to do that. I'm going to start swimming laps again. And I did. I swam 500 meters freestyle, and then I did 150 meters at breaststroke, and then my shoulders were really aching. It was really nice. There were divers in there, so I had something to look at underwater. It says that you're not meant to swim in there, it's just for diving, but all the rest of the pools are really small and can't really do lap swimming. It's the only lap swimming pool on the island. So I'm going to do it. I had a good weekend, and I did cooking too. For the first time. I don't know if you heard this before. I said it before, but the thing was on and off. Wi-Fi was on and off. I did zucchini, courgette, spiralized, and with a bolognese that I made last night. I also made flatbreads, which was a bit of a fail. But then I got it working okay. Don't know if you heard this before. I said it before, but I found a flatbread recipe that you put. It's like a batter, like a pancake batter, but flatbread. It's great. Handy because you can put it in. That's what I'm doing here. Putting it in a squeezy bottle, and you've got like bread on hand. Put it in the fridge, and then when I want a flatbread, put the pan on 200 degrees, 220 degrees, and then put the batter in, and it makes a flatbread. Awesome. It failed the first couple of times though until I figured out the right temperature for it. I had a good weekend. Organisational and cooking. Got the Summerlands here. Summerlands is the full card. It's about fresh energy. It's what I'm feeling at the moment. Fresh energy. When you do organisation, it makes you feel like a different person, doesn't it? I feel like a different person, especially in my kitchen. And when I go into my wardrobe, I feel like I've got my shit together. It makes me wear different things. It makes me make different things in the kitchen when it's all organised. Make pickled red onions. I'm going to make pickled red cabbage as soon as my mason jars arrive. Because I wrecked one of my plastic breakfast containers making the pickled red onion. Anyway, Summerlands, you feel like a fresh person, you feel like a new person, ready for something new, ready to embark on a new adventure. Ready. That's what I feel like now. I'm ready for something new. Animals. This random card with chicken cat on it. Animals. Why do you show this card? Six of Air. Well, it's the Six of Swords. It's about movement. It's time to go. Get yourself from A to B. Get yourself from where you are to where you want to be. That's what I said in the energy update today. Clean inside and clean your flower beds out. And does it make you feel like a new person? I've still got a bit of organisation to do under the kitchen sink because now my glass containers have arrived at my old plastic containers that I used to, like make my fruit salad or whatever in and put. I don't need those in the kitchen anymore. I'll just be using glass. And so I can use them to like organise the crap that's underneath my kitchen sink. I did it a little bit already. Finish that off. And then when the shelves and the rest of the containers arrive from my kitchen, I'll finish the kitchen off too. But it's making me feel great. And it's making me do a lot more healthy eating. I'm eating so much more. I was overtraining and undereating. My fat is dropping off now every single day. I'm weighing myself each morning doing the fat monitor thing. And my body is loving it. I'm having like 4 meals a day. Eating so much more than I was, and I haven't even been training. Well, I did my swimming. I've been doing strength training, but not Muay Thai training. If I'm doing Muay Thai training, I need to be eating even more. No idea. So my body had been on, she's starving us, we need to hold on to this fat mode. Elemental of water. Ready for movement from A to B. Want a richer emotional experience. Elemental of water is about the universe injecting a little bit more emotional energy into the atmosphere, meaning other people will start thinking about the hearts more, thinking about the feelings more. I said it on Friday that a masculine has started thinking, hopefully more than one masculine, has started thinking about their heart. They've achieved whatever. They're having a success and they've started thinking about the heart now. Oh, it's all worth nothing if I've got no one to share it with. Remember I talked about perhaps some of them might have lost their mother and it hit hard and they've realised they've not set that stable thing. They don't have that energy in their life. They don't have someone to turn to and tell their good news to, who is there encouraging them. And now with that feminine wisdom and all of that stuff that women give, they realise, oh, I was relying on my mum for that and I wasn't even appreciating her for it. I didn't realise that I should have set that up in my life, that is an important support system. Yeah, and so then they realise, oh, I should have found myself a stable, good relationship. For some it'll be something like that. But this elemental of water is saying like the universe is helping prioritize hearts now. Hey Judy, does anyone want a mini read? Get those donations in if you do. If you're new here, check out the pinned comment. The comment's pinned up top of the live chat that tells you how to do it. The Eight of Fire is Neptune. Look at this dude. Oof. Hello. Once I've been doing my laps for a while in the pool, I'm going to be taking it into the ocean. I just want to build up I used to swim a lot. I just need to build up those muscles again, in particular shoulder muscles. I'm good, Judy. I'm still a little bit sick, but I'm getting much better now. Neptune. No matter what chaos ensues, Neptune stands calmly in the middle of it all, confident, somehow in control, and rather enjoying the ride. The Eight of Fire lulls us into daydreams and fantasies. Logic takes a back seat as our soul craves mystery and illusion. We're not to do this, you see. These cards are saying don't do that. Don't be in the daydream and fantasy. Don't let logic take a back seat. have logic, justice card, be upfront, be strategic. Once the mind is quieted and open, we begin to accept and then embrace the possibility of dreams coming true. Dreams can come true, but we've got to go about it a different way. That fantasy way isn't going to do it. People learn so slowly. I know, right? Ah, Judy. It's not a top, it's a dress. Thank you. I organised my wardrobe this weekend. Now I know the clothes that I've got. I've never worn this before. I've had it ages. Neptune knows that belief is the first step toward creation. The shadow side of this card, which I think we need to talk about today. My earring. The shadow side of this card represents delusions, deception, secrecy. The dreams in this case are more like nightmares. Oh, often lead to self-destructive behaviour. Got to watch. Some of us have been just making the wrong decisions because of our fantasies. Our fantasies of like, they'll turn around, they will start paying attention, they're meant for me, they'll realise it, and then they'll change their behaviour and become the person that I'll wish them to be. No, don't do that. Let's not do that. Let me see. Making like a penguin. It's a long dress, but a short long dress, because I'm only 5'4" on a good day. 5'4" on a good day, 160. Or am I 162? 160 centimeters? Oh, I can't remember. 160, I think. So usually long dress is long anything. It's like a wedding dress. It drags on the floor and I step on it on the front. But I watch a makeup chick, Morgan Turner, on YouTube, and she's shorter than me. And she found these dresses on Amazon and told us about it on YouTube, saying, any short ladies out there, these are really good. So I bought two of them, a black one and this one, from Amazon too. So I got stung for import tax. The Book of Shadows. The Book of Shadows is about our life journey and the stuff that we're in control of on our life path. So it's like, what do you want to experience next? It's a fantasy, yes, but you can't just have the fantasy and then go, okay, universe, bring it to me. That take on the law of attraction isn't true. But focus and determination is true, and then us finding a way to get that, a way to do that, a way to make that, So let's consider like money. Millions of dollars. I've got this dream. I want to have this amazing house. I need millions of dollars for it. Focus on the millions of dollars in this house, and the universe will just magically give it to me. I'll play the lotto. It's like, no, that's not the way the law of attraction works. The way that law of attraction works is you have a focus. It's like, I'm going to get that house. I'm going to do it. And then from that space, you start paying more attention to the ideas that will get you there, and then you start working toward it, right? So we're talking here about a relationship. We know what it is that we want, the Empress energy, right? We're stable, we know what it is that we want, what's going to be our happiness, and we wait for it. But we don't just wait for it. That's what this cabaret has been about. It's about not just waiting for it. It's about the approach that we take, the energy that we need to be in, yeah, and the focus that we need to have, yeah, but it's also the approach. It's like, okay, what do we do, guys? When we get to the miserable lady stack, it's like, what do we do? What do we do then to get there? And this is, things like this, nuggets like this, the Justice card, and the Five of Wands, the Strategy card. It's like, you've got to be okay about making good decisions for yourself, strategic decisions for yourself, saying, you know what, no. And it's interesting because I heard a message yesterday. In 2 videos, the same message came out. As I was pottering around and cooking and doing stuff. What was the first one I had? The first one was an interview. The narcissist doctor, one lady, what's her name? Can't remember. Dr. Ramani. she was interviewing Matthew Hussey, and it's like, oh, two of my favorite relationship coachy kind of people having a conversation. I'll listen to that while I'm cooking. So I did. And one thing that I heard from that was about, one thing I took away from that interview was, if someone's not offering you what it is that you want, no matter how you feel about them, you just need to say, okay, it's not what I want. The reason that I got that from it was Matthew was telling a story, I think about his current partner, that he'd met her in another country and liked her and everything, but then he'd gone back to America and then kept in touch a little bit, but not much. But he sent her a message, and she sent him a message back saying, to be honest, I don't feel that connected to you. You've not kept in touch that much. To be honest, it feels like you just want some attention from me. Like, this is a bit of a, like, if we were in the same country, this is a bit of a booty call kind of a message, and that's not what I'm looking for. And that stopped him in his tracks. And it's like, she's right. It was a scream for attention. I was feeling lonely. And it made him really think about it and his approach, right? And it's like, yeah, we've got to be kind of ready to stand up for ourselves in that way, even though it's not what we want. It's like we want to draw them in. Sometimes we've got to push them away because their approach isn't right. It worked for her in the end. She got him in the end, properly. It won't always work though, but you still got to do it. Then, later on, I watched Lisa Billier, Women of Impact, interviewing, I don't know who he was, in fact, some relationship guy. I don't know. I was listening to that, and he had a similar story. He was seeing somebody, dating for a long time, for years and years, and he was just like, he told her, oh, I'm not wanting marriage. And she was like, okay then, bye. And then he didn't hear from her, but he heard through the grapevine that she started seeing this like rich dude and all of this, and started feeling a certain way, of course, and went to his mum, because guys, that's what guys do, they go to the mum. And he said, I'm feeling this certain kind of way. And she's like, well, of course you are, because you meant to have got married to her. She's your wife. She's the one you're supposed to be with. Like, duh. And so he went back to her, contacted her and said, I do want marriage. I think you're my person. And so she left the guy that she was dating because she was in love with him. But she made that hard decision that we're being asked to make here, the hard decision of going against her heart, because he wasn't treating her right. And he said that that's exactly what he needed. He needed her to do that. And his kind of point of view was like, if you're looking for a relationship, it's not so much about the attraction and all of that. Yeah, guys will be out there looking for that, first of all, the looks, the attraction, trying to get sex and all of that. But when you're thinking like, I want a relationship, it's different. The kind of person that you're looking for is different. Hey, Kayla. I'm okay, thank you. A little bit sick still, but getting much better now. I realised this morning when I was in the bathroom, I'm like, wow, I hadn't been coughing in the night. Didn't wake up with like a blocked nose. I think it was the first night that I've had. I've not been sleeping great because of it. Still not sleeping great last night, but I'm getting there. I am getting there. So yeah, he said that he needed her to make that hard decision. She didn't want to. She was in love with him, but she had to, because otherwise he was wasting her time. And it worked for her too. And like I said, it's not always going to work that way. You're not always going to get what it is that you want. You can't use it like a manipulation. But we've got to do what's best for us. So the Book of Shadows, you are in charge. Yes, the universe can inject, some hey, think about your hearts, think about your relationships, guys, down there on earth. Um, but don't be lulled into the fantasy of like, I'll just have this fantasy and hold on to that, and then my person will become good, kind of thing. Gotta write your new chapter. Like, this is what I want. This is how I'm going to go about it. What else? Ooh, Eight of Water. She's stirring the pot. The Eight of Water is about walking away too, isn't it? You know, the Eight of Water, when we like, okay, I've been attached to this thing, this person, I need to walk away from it now. This is no good for me. Yes, it hurts to walk away, but I have to do it. You have to dump yourself in a way. Some of us have to dump ourselves. It was in my energy up, and my energy up, that my weekly reading, my personal weekly reading, is that I've got to let go of all the past people now. All of them. Eight of Water is a time of powerful change. Your intent and decisions have long-term ramifications and will shape the directions being determined at this time. You have the power to create the transformation you seek. That's what I was saying, right? You have the power. That law of attraction fantasy thing, it'll just drop in your lap. That's bullshit. Absolute bullshit. You've got to, yeah, you've got to have the right focus and the right energy first, but then you start doing the stuff that's going to get you there, right? And then the Ace of Air. The Ace of Air, this is reminding me, like, look, he's asleep. Divine Masculine's asleep. She's throwing all these ideas at him, throwing books at his head. God, the house. All of this kind of thing. Don't you want it? Don't you want it? So the Divine Feminine's energy is apparently making an impact on the Divine Masculine at the moment, but in his sleep. So it's just a subtle, in his dreams. Oh, in his dreams. It's just a subtle energy, but your energy right now, Divine Feminines, is affecting Divine Masculines. It represents divine guidance, getting divine guidance. There you go. The universe wishes to provide information, to give it freely as a gift. However, we must be receptive and cultivate a quiet mind, or the gift is lost to us. Settle down, quit striving, just receive. So that's not a message for the Divine Feminine. Divine Feminine's energy is affecting the Divine Masculine right now. So he is receiving the divine guidance. So just keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep strong in that. Don't doubt it. Don't second guess yourself. When you second guess yourself, the universe is like, oh, she doesn't want it anymore. Let's not bother him anymore and get him to step up because she's not wanting it anymore. And then you get determined. You're in that energy. It's like, oh, we better get onto this Divine Masculine because he's there asleep doing nothing. And she's got this strong, powerful ask. He's the one that can give her that. He needs waking up, right? So we've got to hold that energy for a while and wait for it. And remember, was it last week that I was talking about that, or the week before? It was last week on Friday. The positive and negative, like sometimes we're like, yes, I've got this. Someone's going to show up. And then at times we're like, nah, I'm fooling myself. Why am I fooling myself? No one's going to show up. It's not happening. There's nobody out there. Nobody loves me. Everybody hates me. They all say I eat worms. And then we're like, and then we change again. Like, no, I've got this. I know what it is that I want. Of course someone will exist. Of course there's someone for me. This is saying that we need to be more consistent in that positive energy. Remember, on Friday I did a poll. We did a poll. And most of us were feeling positive at the moment. I'm feeling positive at the moment. I am. I'm feeling isolated from being sick because I have isolated myself. I'm feeling a bit antsy. I'm feeling a bit, not about relationships, just about isolation. I'm frustrated. I'm feeling what's the word? Like when you're tired, and I am tired, and you're easily triggered by stuff. Like I can easily get frustrated. Like when I was making the flatbreads yesterday and it was going wrong, I'm less on an even keel, and it's to do with being, to do with lack of sleep, and it's to do with isolation. I'm feeling that. I'm feeling I haven't been training, I haven't been around my people, I miss them. And they're not filling up that aspect of myself, and that's making me more on a hair trigger kind of thing. I'm not usually, something goes wrong or whatever, I'm not usually one to get annoyed, like get frustrated, but I have been in the last few days. I started getting frustrated. It's because I don't have my usual outlets, and my people around me. I've not seen my best friend for ages. And my friends at the gym, I've not seen them for ages. I've been too sick. And it's not good for my balance. It's not. But that's what we've got at the moment. It's been good for me sorting the house out though. And that's made me feel good in another kind of a way. Now we've got this one. However you say that. Sam Rin, is it? Sam Rin? Something like that. Anyway, let's read her out. It's the moon. Where is she? Where are you? There she is. She seeks out guidance from the ancestors. She accepts the darkness without fear, but with respect. Yeah, sometimes you'll get into that doubt, and that's okay. Like, know yourself kind of thing. But that part of us being consistent like this is about mastering ourselves, isn't it? Especially about our feelings. That's why I was just like, I recognized that when I was drinking alcohol, I was not someone that could have a relationship. I couldn't show up. I couldn't invest in anyone really. I wasn't on that even keel. I wasn't able to feel my feelings because I was numbing out all the time. She accepts the darkness without fear, but with respect. So feeling our feelings, being okay about when we go to the dark side, but taking care of ourselves and doing the self-love to make ourselves more on an even keel, more on the positive side. She accepts the darkness without fear, but with respect, knowing she's strengthening her connection with the divine. So she's headed out into the unknown here, reflecting, preparing, feeling her feelings, but not necessarily making decisions based on that, but loving herself through that and knowing that this is who she is. We're human beings. We're going to have these fluctuating feelings, and that's okay, but not letting that run us and dictate. So you can feel positive about relationships, you can feel negative about them, but it's not changing the decisions that you're making or what you're doing to put yourself out there. Just like business. I used to be so emotional about business. I'd be having a good day. I'm like, yes, this is it. I've made it now. It's going to be all good from now on. And I'd be on this high. And then it'd stop and I'd be like, oh no, what have I done wrong? Why isn't it working for me? I was on this roller coaster, and it's like, no, this is just what happens in businesses, ups and downs. It's got nothing to do. It's not saying you're a failure. I was listening to too much law of attraction stuff, hey? So in business, when things are going good, you don't let it change what it is that you're doing. Just consistently keep on doing the same things. It works in the long term to bring the stuff around. So if I have a week and there's no orders come in, I don't go, oh my God, I'm doing something wrong. Let me make just different decisions in my business. I just go, oh well, it's just one of those weeks, and carry on doing what I'm doing, and the next week will be great. Likewise with, yes, our feelings might fluctuate, but just because you're feeling pessimistic, don't let that change what you're doing. Don't put your glad rags on and go out and party and try and find someone that way just because you're having a doubtful time. Don't care. Don't start making the wrong decisions based on our feelings, is what this is saying. Yes, we've got feelings, but we don't have to have them run us. Not grounded. Yeah, not grounded, not stable. Just like emotionally. It's a weird thing, isn't it? And I've never experienced isolation properly until, like, I've been on retreat and stuff like that, but you're on retreat with other people. It's not the same. Until lockdown, when we did serious lockdown in this country, and it was just like, holy shit, this is not good for me. The no contact with anyone. Oh, it was rough. And I'm feeling it again, not to the same extent, because I do have people around me. There's the staff, and there's, I have like been to the shops and that, but I'm not socializing, and I'm not training with other people. It's enough. Not being around my people and my community is enough to trigger those same kind of emotional instability kind of things. Yeah, ungroundedness. I'm usually pretty happy-go-lucky. Do you know what I mean? Like things can go wrong, and I'm just like, whatever. It doesn't rock me. And I've just noticed in the last few days of just like it getting to me, like getting grumbly about things. It's just so not like me. I'm more likely to laugh things off usually, but I'm not these days. And it's because I'm isolated, and I know it is. Well, hopefully that'll change tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be able to go to training in the morning. I'll feel up to it. And I'm in the air conditioning inside at the moment. You can still hear. As soon as I get out into that humidity out there, I start coughing. It loosens up the stuff in my chest. I can do a bit of exercise, yeah, but it gets a bit rough. We'll see. We've got the Mother of Earth. She's waiting for the harvest. She's assured of it, waiting for the harvest, yeah. So in the unknown, but you're assured of it. There's no chance to this. There's no luck. If you're making those right decisions, it will show up eventually. It will. And it can be surprising. I don't know if you missed that story before, but last night, someone popped into my head, a guy that I've not thought about for a very long time, and I can't even remember his name. He was here in the first year that I was here, and when I was in no position to have a proper relationship. Now, I thought about him, and it's like, wow, he would be the right guy for me now. He was interested in me. I was interested in him too, but not enough to invest. Either of us, it's not like I can't even remember. I think we had like 2 tiny conversations with each other, but nothing investy kind of thing. Just a lot of looking at each other. But interesting that it popped into my mind because it makes me recognize I have had the right people. The right people for relationships have been in my life. And I have been the unstable one that hasn't chosen them. The me now, if I met him again, would choose him now. But I didn't back then. Because I was still traumatized. I was still in that. I hadn't healed enough yet. And that's okay, too. But they're out there is my point. They are out there. Even on this tropical island with all the players. Now, miserable ladies, what have we got? We've got death. Significant endings. And this death card, it's like me being sick at the moment is that me organising everything, it's changing how I feel. That's what the death card is about. It's like you feel that everything's changed. You've changed. You're a different person now. It's significant. Big events in our life can have us feeling this way, which is why it's the death card, right? A death or something significant changing can have it. But it can be just organising your stuff, doing things differently. Organising my stuff has changed my diet. Being sick has changed my training to make me realise I was under-eating. I need to know that stuff because I was stressing my body out too much. I don't need to stress my body out that much. I don't need to be exercising a lot and under eating too, right? So now my body's happy. It's losing weight. I'm training much, much less, eating way more, and it's happy now and it's losing that fat. It's like happy body. Something changes like that. It can be doesn't have to be from a major event in your life. It could be something internal like that. You deciding to sort your stuff out. But this is the instigator of it, when things change and you realize you're a different person now. The moon. And yes, it's unknown. You don't know who's going to show up from that point, but you're holding this energy that of like, I've changed now and I'm ready for something. Six of Wands is about the victory. It's like, I'm going to get myself there. It's very much like the Strength card in this deck, isn't it? Six of Wands. Let me read it out from this deck. It's the card of victory. This woman has focused her will and set her intention, has achieved great heights, quite literally. It's amazing what we can see when we overcome challenges and reach our highest potential. Okay, so that death energy again, when we've overcome challenges, whatever has been challenging or whatever, however you've challenged yourself, has changed you as a person. And then we realize what we're capable of and the potential that we have. The recognition of others is always nice, but nothing really matches inner satisfaction. So an inner achievement, or you getting through something, or changing your energy in some way, is it. It's it. It's like, it changes everything. Oh, it changes everything. And if you're consistent in that energy, drawing someone in. And it's way easier to do that by ourselves, to have an accomplishment by ourselves. Getting someone else to do something isn't an accomplishment, really. But accomplishing something by ourselves, for ourselves, by ourselves, that's what changes our energy. It's like you don't really want the law of attraction of the fantasy and then it just pops in front of you to be true anyway, because it doesn't change how we feel about ourselves when we do that. When we get determined for something, we make a change in our life and we've done it ourselves, then we achieve it, we're like, I'm the shit. Like, you feel so much better about ourselves. It is in the journey. It's in the accomplishment too, but some accomplishments are just like for now, aren't they? Don't make us feel better about ourselves. It's like picking someone up, going out and picking someone up. Yeah, we can do it. We could all do it. You could go out and pick someone up. We could go out and pick someone up today. But do I want? Is that a really accomplishment? No, it's not. Is it going to make me feel better about myself? No, it's not. So your actual achievements that you're achieving has changed your energy. Yes, you're in the unknown, but you don't know who's going to show from that. But in a very strong position. Queen of Wands, and you're very attractive right now. It makes you very attractive. That energy is very attractive. Nine of Wands, because you healed yourself and you're ready. And we're not burning candles on our beds, because that is dangerous. Healed and ready for something new. The devil. Overindulgence, temptations. Yes, they're going to be there, aren't they? They are. The 12 disciples. The temptations are going to be there. They're always going to exist within ourselves. That's the negativity as well. It's going to come back. We can love ourselves through it. Three of Swords. If we cave into those temptations, we break our own heart again. If we go back on it, if we cave, if we go for that short-term fling or whatever it is, we will feel worse for it. We've all done it. Excuse me. We've all been there, we've all done that before, and we've all felt worse about ourselves. Someone leaves. We were tempted. Crystal, why do you say the 12 disciples? If anyone wants a mini read, check out that pinned comment. The comment's pinned up top of the live chat. Get yourself in there. Put your donation in. Ask your question. Let's do some mini reads. The Empress. I love the Empress energy. It is the energy of, I know who I am. I know what I deserve. You know, Dr. Ramani, in that interview that I watched yesterday, she talked more about her personal journey. I haven't heard her talk about that. So she's been in a lot of narcissistic relationships, of course. But she was saying about a past, abusive childhood, born to a culture, she must be Indian, is she Indian? Born to a culture where it wasn't good to have a girl. You were supposed to have a boy child. And so she was ashamed straight away. It's like when I got pregnant the first time, it was to my first boyfriend. I was with him from when I was 15 to when I was 20, just about to be 21. And that's when I was pregnant. I always thought I was going to have kids with him. But the amount of, but I didn't. I broke up with him. I broke up with him when I was pregnant because of something that he did. And I couldn't trust him anymore. Got rid of him. It was a good decision. But then when I was telling people I was pregnant, I got a lot of like, oh, I'm like, you meant to say congratulations. I was around a lot of negative people, right? And I thought it was just about being a single parent and there was a lot of judgment there. And it's like, that's not fair because I made a good decision for myself getting rid of this guy. And although it was, we hadn't planned on getting pregnant at that time, you know, well, we talked about having kids. It wasn't so much of a shock kind of thing out of the blue. So there was no need. I thought there was no need to not congratulate me on it. But people didn't. And I thought it was about this single thing until when I was with Jared, I got pregnant. I had a miscarriage, but I got pregnant and I called my mum and said, oh, I'm pregnant. And I was with this guy for 6 years. I'm pregnant. And she was negative about it. And I'm like, it's just you. It's just you. Like, it's got nothing to do with me or my circumstances. Or she still didn't congratulate me. She's like, oh, well, what are you going to do? I'm like, seriously? Anyway, stuff like that. She was saying she was ashamed straight away, you know? Oh, you had a girl. What a shame. Second rate. She was asking Matthew Hussey, how can we feel good when you say like good and deserving this Empress energy when we've been told as women that we're not right, we don't deserve anything, we deserve the bad things, oh well, you deserve that. She's right. A lot of us are triggered by the deserve that. I hear deserving. And I'm getting beaten up and I'm being told that I deserve that. It triggers me. This is what you deserve. That was what my abusers used to say to me. How do we suddenly start feeling? Well, we don't suddenly start feeling like we're worthy. We build up to it. We heal ourselves and we start doing it for ourselves and we start taking care of ourselves and doing it for ourselves. Give us that self-love. That's what gets us there. It's like if no one else is doing it for me, I'm doing it for me now. I'm no longer waiting for someone to treat me right. I'm no longer waiting for my parents who are never going to congratulate me or be positive because they're just not that kind of people. I'm not waiting for anyone like that to do it for me. I'm not waiting on even positive people to do it for me. I'm doing it for myself. I'm building myself up, healing myself, building myself, taking care of myself, regardless of everyone else, right? Right? So that's how we get ourselves to this Empress energy. We do it for ourselves. And then we're like, oh shit, I seem to have blocked everyone else out. I think I seem to have be Queen of Swords, you know, too many boundaries and all of that kind of thing. I need to be soft and open and feminine and all of that. But only for those that are going to join me in my energy as the Empress. Only for those Emperors, only those ones that hold me in the high regard that I hold myself. That's the Empress energy. Mm. You left your husband when you were 4 months pregnant also. Yeah. We make good decisions, hey. We make good decisions. And we should be congratulated. Well, congratulations on your pregnancy, even though it was whenever it was. Congratulations. I was just like, and I would be in people's faces about it too. I'm like, you meant to say congratulations. Like, F you, you meant to say congratulations to me. It's a baby. For God's sake, it's a baby. I'm about to have a baby. It's congratulations. It's like nothing more joyful, really. And people are like, fuck 'em. Yes, accepting less is a disservice to ourselves. So, Empress energy. Yes. Yes. We'll do it for ourselves until and someone else does it, and we'll do it for ourselves. And if someone else does it too, well, good on them, and bring them into your life. And yes, you can have a place in my life. Nine of Chalices again. Nine of Chalices is about us being loved, our heart being happy, our wishes. Nine of Cups, us getting what we want in relationships. Someone matching us in the way that we love ourselves. Congratulations to us. Yay! Well, good for you. And isn't that better? Isn't that better? I think it's much better to be a single parent and be happy than be with someone that you can't stand or that you're scared of. I was scared of him. He went crazy. He threatened to kill me. He was trying to break down a door to kill me. I thought I was going to die. I thought he was going to kill me. I opened the door on him thinking, well, once he's broken down the door, he's likely to be in such a fit of rage, because he's obviously in a fit of rage, that he'll definitely will kill me. I'm probably bad at just opening the door so he doesn't break the door down and letting him kill me. Do I want to have a child with someone like that? Well, I was having his child, but not with him. No. I'm like, I can't trust you. He went away for a while I made my decision, and I was just like, I cannot trust you. You did that. You made me feel that way. That out of control. You're out of control, and turned it on me. Like, no. I made a good decision. Yep, I did. And we were happy. Me and my son, and then I got together with my ex-husband. Did it all over again. Had two more. I'm glad I did, though. Hey, I'm glad I did, because now I'm healed. I'm menopause now. I'm post-menopause, in fact. I haven't done the 1 year without, but I haven't had a period for, 6 months or something. It's finished. I can feel it's finished. I felt that last one, not at the time, but maybe a couple of months afterwards. It's like, yeah, that's it now. I've changed. I feel different now. So, thank you. Love broken people from a distance, right? And yeah, you know what? I don't have hard feelings for my family. Do I ever want to see him again? No, I don't ever want to see him again. I don't. I know what they're like. I'm like, I don't need any more of that shit. I don't need to be around people that think they've got a right to talk to me like that or treat me like that. No one else would. I'm just saying no to anyone else. I wouldn't let anyone in my life like that. Not anybody. No matter who they are. No matter who they are. So, Empress. Yes. We got this. We got this. So, Divine Masculine's being woken up, huh? Yeah, good for us. Let's find out what's going on with the Divine Masculine. Join our Facebook group, everybody, if you're not already in there. Here's the link to it. Excuse me. Okay, Divine Masculine, what's going on? Being woken up, rewiring his nervous system. I find strength in surviving my traumas. Oh, interesting. Some deep stuff going on with the masculine. I think some masculines are realizing now Like I got that message on Friday that some are losing their mum. Some have lost their mum and they've realised that they've not built a solid relationship with a feminine that can take that place. They haven't appreciated what the mum was doing for them, being the only one that they went to for the emotional nurturing, the wisdom, advice, and all of that kind of thing. Taking it for granted. Then when the mum dies, they're like, I've got no one help me. I've got no one to help me now. Oops, maybe I should have got myself a relationship instead of thinking, I don't need a relationship. All I need is to have sex with whoever I want and I've got my freedom and I'm great. I don't need women. I don't need to appreciate women. And then suddenly they're like, oh, I did need to appreciate women. It was my mum. Rewiring the nervous system, what else could it be? Strength in surviving my traumas. Maybe some of them have been played at their own game. But yeah, I am seeing evidence of that in men, of them kind of waking up to themselves a bit. You know, in the whole toxic masculinity as well, and realizing this doesn't really serve me. I don't really like it. I don't really like it in other men, and I don't like it in myself. It's affected their nervous system. When things affect our nervous system, what happens? And trauma is trauma. It affects our nervous system. It has us reacting to things in a way that we wouldn't otherwise. The way that I experienced that, I was very socially anxious. In order to have people in my life, I had to override that feeling of like, I want to get away from these people because they're not good enough for me. And so I'd use alcohol to numb down that feeling to be around people. But it had me being around the people that I shouldn't have been around. I mean, get that feeling of anxiety around them, to be around those negative ones or the addicts or whatever. Because otherwise I would have been isolated, and that wasn't good for me either. It had me doing that and then being around the comfortable people. The comfortable people for me were the uncomfortable people. It was the negative ones, you know, the ones that had shit going on. I can see that I had people around me in the periphery that were healthy. But was I engaging in them? No, I wasn't. They were there, but I wasn't engaging in them. My nervous system had me reacting, doing the wrong thing for myself. To me, a lot of it was around alcohol. Alcohol wasn't the problem. Alcohol was helping me in some kind of way, but also numbing me so that I didn't see what I was doing. I didn't see that it was helping me engage with the wrong kind of people. My nervous system was kind of like pulling away from the right kind of people. So the masculine's got this going on at the moment, the nervous system, the realization of they're not exactly doing the things that are good for them. And that place to be is tricky, because then you're like, well, what is healthy? Like, who am I? Like, what is a healthy nervous system? How would, if I was like totally sober, totally healed, what is the right way of being? Like, we'll flounder around in the unknown. No wonder the moon's come out so much. Because then we're like, well, what the hell is healthy then? That's where the masculine's at. We know that. That's where we've been. Timothy, wait a minute, Claire just described women. None of the ones have been complaining they can't find a real girl. Oh no. Well, I'm focused on the divine feminine here, and it runs both ways. We've both got feminine and masculine. We've all got feminine and masculine inside of ourselves, and a lot of these things are mirrored. A lot of these experiences are mirrored. You know, I see it. I've got a friend, and she's not good, hey? She uses men so much, but she seems to find the good ones. And she'll tell me, these are great guys, and I look and it's like, yeah, somehow you manage to find the great ones, and then you abuse them, and you're cheating on them, and you're treating them like trash. And I'm like, these guys What are you doing? You're doing what I used to do. Feeling like trash, letting the trashy guys in, you know? When we're healed, we don't do that. We don't let the wrong ones in. We say no to them. So yeah, she's finding the good ones. But you see, this is what the good guys say. Oh, well, why do the ladies all want the bad guys? But it's like you're doing the same thing. You're doing the same thing. I see it. I see it here. So it's not like she's choosing the right guy. She kind of is. But it's the ones that haven't done the inner work and healed themselves. And so they're still choosing the trash. And it's horrible to think of my friend like that, but because I love her. But she's terrible with men. Oh my God, she uses them bad. Hey, Laura. Destroys them. Find a good woman, repeat the cycle. It's going on both sides, I know. And like I say, I recognize it in myself. I recognize that I've had the right ones around me. When I was in Byron, a guy, Adam his name was, he was lovely and he wanted to be with me. He wasn't living in the same place though. And I did the whole message him. Instead of staying in touch with him, like I would now, like staying in touch with someone that I'm interested in, like arranging to meet them and, investing my time and getting to know someone and that. I just messaged him like when I was feeling lonely or feeling bad about myself and he picked up on it and it's like, I'm not just like some your part-time person to get in touch with. He did what I was saying before, that this, justice and the Five of Wands. He didn't want to, he wanted to be with me, but it's like, don't treat me like that. And I remember making an excuse to him, saying, well, you're not here, you want me to invest. I made an excuse for my bad behavior. But he was the right kind of person, but I wasn't. I wasn't able to be present. I wasn't healed enough. So yes, we all go through it. What a kind and compassionate man. What else are they going through? Grounding my energy. It's safe to be in my body. And trusting. Now that could be the whole moving away from addictions, that kind of thing. Safe to be in my body, safe to be in my feelings, grounding. I'm okay as I am. Also, untangling neglect. Wow. I take the time to give myself all the approval I desire. Like I said, I was getting that strongly. That's a feminine symbol as well, don't you think? Yeah, they're finding that within themselves, and that's what they need, right? We don't want a guy to go from his mum, he loses his mum, and then transfer that to us. My ex did that. His mum died. It was already a bit on me emotionally. Not even my boyfriend, but his mum died, and then it was just like, oh my God, I'd go around to see him, there'd be people loud, it'll be happy and all of this. They'd all go, and they would just break down into tears and be in my arms, and he would tell me all of the emotional stuff, all of it. And I'm like, this is not okay. This is not okay for me to be the only person that you do this with. Why don't you talk to your friends about it? What do you talk to your friends about? He said, well, just about going out and things and about girls. I'm like, this is not okay. It's not okay to put all of this on me. You should be talking to your friends about this. Like, why don't guys talk to friends about this stuff? Neglecting the emotional side of things is where the masculine has been. Perhaps realizing it now. Met a guy that seems nice, but you can't continue the connection because he smokes cigarettes, drinks, smokes weed. Yeah, don't do it. They're not able to be present. They're not able, like, I recognize it in myself when I was drinking. And thank God I wasn't an alcoholic. Thank God I didn't get chemically addicted to it or whatever. But I was an addict in the way that there's no space for anything else. There's no space to focus on something and do something good. when you've got that kind of stuff going on. It's a cop out. It's a numbing agent. They're not able to be present. So guys have been neglecting themselves. Yeah, what we don't want is them to go from mum to woman. They need to find it in themselves first and do that for themselves first. Not turn to us like my ex did and go, oh, now it's you. You're my new mum. It's like, no, that's how I am not. And that is not okay. And I had to distance, and I love the guy, but I have to distance myself from him. I hardly ever see him anymore. I'll drop in sometimes, but he has to do it by himself, and it's not it. Oh yeah, if someone cannot be present because they've got addictions going on, as much as people want to say, oh, but pot's okay. It's like, no, pot is not okay. Pot is like a cop out of I don't want to live. I don't want to engage in life. I want to have something that numbs me to the point of I don't need to be focused on something and going for some goals. Ever meet a stoner that was doing anything great in their life? No, you didn't. You didn't. I can answer that question. You had that issue in the past too. And trauma, we have to, right? I thank God for alcohol. I don't think I'd be here without it. I don't think I would have survived. It had me functioning from severe trauma, childhood trauma. It had me functioning until the point where I was like, okay, I need to stop it now to heal. I'd done so much healing with alcohol. I got to the point where it's like, okay, I need to let go of the alcohol now and then deal with what is left there. And that's when you find out, oh, actually the alcohol was adding more crap to it, like adding more trauma to it, adding more anxiety than what was before, you know. Both sides need real ones for themselves. Mm. So untangling neglect. So, okay, divine masculine. Let's think of the emperor energy. I just had my rant on the emperors of us doing it for ourselves, right? Divine masculine's got to do it for himself first. We might have to a little bit of a wait. Trauma made you stronger, yes. Good for you. Still, we prefer not to have gone through that trauma, right? But it does make us stronger. You're right. What else? We've got rewriting the subconscious. The more I embrace feeling good, the less often I'll feel bad. Well, duh. But someone wants to feel better. The masculine wants to feel better than they did before. There's a maturing going on here, right? And a lot of healing, a lot of realization that the nervous system is out of whack, that they've been neglecting themselves. They need to ground, give themselves that appreciation and the validation of that, finding it within themselves, finding the feminine within themselves. Because if they don't do that, if you don't find the feminine, if they don't find the feminine within themselves, how are they going to appreciate the feminine? It's like, as women, if we don't get to this point, Queen of Pentacles, like I got my shit together, I can do it all for myself. I've got the masculine energy. I can get into that. I have to do it from work. I have to do it for everything when I don't have a man in my life. I can do it. And then you can truly appreciate it in the divine masculine, right? When someone steps forward with that, it's like, oh, you've got the divine masculine energy. I can ease up on that. You can ease up on, you've got the divine feminine energy too. You can ease up on that. And let's like coexist together. Let's do this together. So I can be a little bit more in my feminine. You can be in a little bit more in your masculine. But we don't get into that toxic space. They can't appreciate truly and love and appreciate truly the divine feminine until they've found that feminine inside of themselves and they've done that work. And they've been the feminine for themselves. Ooh. What else? Was that you, Lara? It's on a roll then. Thanks for your donation, Laura. Let's do your mini read now before I get any further. Anyone else want a mini read? You better get them in fast because I'm about to finish. Laura. Coffee. High self-guidance for you, Laura. Just for a change. Okay, Laura. What does Laura need to know today? Judgment separates, soften and open. Ooh, judgy. Okay. Yeah. This runs both ways. This runs both ways. Receiving judgment, it separates. It makes you want to push someone away, right? When someone's judging you, it's like, ooh, go away. Don't want to hear that kind of thing. It doesn't make you want to open up, but sometimes we need to listen to it, right? Sometimes we need to listen to the judgment because when we react to it and try and push it away, a part of us believes it. Whereas if someone's judging you, right, for something that is just not true, we don't have a reaction to it. We don't need to push that person away. My example that I always use is like, if someone calls you a cardboard box, you'd be like, that's ridiculous, whatever, you know. You wouldn't have a huge reaction to it because there's not a part of you that thinks you're a cardboard box. But if someone called you selfish, you might be like, I'm not selfish. You know, there's going to be a bit of a reaction there because we think we're selfish. And if you're doing things right, you will think you're selfish. If you are prioritizing yourself, you will think you're selfish, right? This is saying, like, try and be more open when someone's criticizing you, judging you. To take it as evidence of what you've got going on inside of yourself, as to take it as a clue of what self-love needs to happen within you. And this also runs the other way around as well, as when you're judging with other people, it tends to be the things that we judge about ourselves. And that can be very cluey too, can be the big clues too. It's like, why am I so judgmental of her? It's like, oh, because I judge myself for having done that in the past. So both ways there. Lara, I mean, not Laura. It'll take a while to clear it out. It's things that you've worked on before. That you're not clueless about this. It's come up for you before. It'll take a while to clear out, is what that's saying. Let's get some more cards out. Anyone else want a mini read? Get your donations in fast because I'm about to finish. Divine Masculine, what else do we need to know? The Father. Ooh. The Father. Now that is reminding me something in that interview that I heard as well with that guy. I don't know who he was. Could be very triggering. Could be. Some of the stuff he said. Very triggering until you hear the truth of it. And it's nothing that the guides haven't been telling us, the stuff that he was saying. It's like, we need to hold your energy back. You need to like not be pursuing men. You need to be like saying these hard things. Not to play games, but to say no, not like that, you know. The women's need to be the gatekeeper and not pursue men and not give away the sex so fast. And also, what else are you saying? It's all stuff we know. But he also said he'd had like 3 kids from the age of 15, different women, not taking care of any of them, still had them in his life, but when they got to the age where they were women, and they said to him, yeah, you provided and all of that kind of stuff, but what you didn't do was give us advice. You didn't give us fatherly advice. You didn't tell us what to do. You didn't like build us up to be like young women. You didn't give us the guidance that a father should. And he took that on and he that's the thing. Like, what are they saying in essence? That what they're saying is you never went to the feminine. You didn't develop your feminine side of it to be able to give us fatherly guidance. So, yeah, there's fathers and there's fathers, right? So he could be a father, but he might not be a well-rounded father. Might be realizing that. So that's another thing that could be instigating this in the divine masculine is that children that he's had perhaps might be getting some truths from them. You know, realizing how he's neglected others or neglected himself. That is by not being in that feminine energy too. It's the well-rounded father kind of a thing. That's what, Lawrence, what's been happening to you. They always seem to do that, right? Okay. The shaman healing himself. Oh, yes. So the divine masculine is healing himself. Good. Tapping into that feminine energy. Hopefully not too much. I could never get into that, you know. When I was in the healing world and all of that, kind of standalone, do it now. But when I was actually practicing, had a shop, renting treatment rooms, there would be the guys around doing the healing stuff and all of that. Some of them so feminine. It was so not attractive. But good on them for going there, but it was so not attractive to me. I don't know. I don't understand guys and their path through it. Of course, I've not lived that. So, but the perhaps, well, it's probably just like the women. To get to this point of the Empress, you have to be like super masculine first, right? You have to step into that and go, right, I'm going to sort my life out. I'm going to take responsibility for this, be the masculine energy, you know, you've got to do that. And you get to the point where it's like, I don't like this being masculine all the time. I don't like it. I don't like who I am now. I want to be more feminine. We get to that point, right? I guess the guys are doing that too, if they're going through this feminine thing. Yeah. So the guys are healing gnosis. And the gnosis is what we know. It's the aha. They're getting ahas and all of that kind of stuff. Tell us more about this father energy. The riddle. God, parenting. Far out. Yes, it is a bit like this, isn't it? We all think that we're going to do a better job, and then it's like, damn, none of us manage it. We do the best we can, but it's hard. And, you know, you can't blame guys for listening to society, and it's like, all I need to do is be there and be the provider. And it's like, okay, well, actually, no. No, the emotional side of things is really important. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, is what I heard. So they're riddling it out, trying to figure it out. The shaman, what's this healing? Oh, far out. The orphan wound. Healing the orphan wound. Healing the jam, like the feeling good about themselves. Like, I'm actually amazing instead of I'm a dirtbag kind of thing. The destroyer. I'm a dirtbag that destroys everything. That's toxic masculineness. And finding the gem inside of themselves, the self-love and feeling good about themselves instead. Healing the orphan wound. Ooh, the orphan wound, we've had it untangling neglect there. So a lot of healing going on with the masculine here. The orphan wound. When first we're orphaned. Whether we're like left by people, it can be like physical, but it doesn't have to be. Be orphaned, emotionally. That kind of neglect, and we end up doing it to ourselves. We end up neglecting ourselves. You know how I said in this, it's like, if you think of it like your inner child, let's get your inner child into a great relationship. Rather than thinking of yourself, get yourself into a great relationship. Think of your inner child, and then you'll do better for yourself. What do they know now? What's the ahas that they're getting? Light and dark, the sword. Cutting through it. Getting mental clarity, the sword as well. Is the aha card, this as well. But it's like, what's darkness, what's light? It all. I'm it all. There was nothing ever wrong with me in the first place. It's childhood stuff. It is. It's childhood stuff. I just felt it then. It's the little boy, and I hate seeing guys do that to the little boys. See it so often. Don't cry. And they shut down their emotions, and these little boys. It's that. It's like reclaiming themselves and their emotional side and the feminine side that has been made wrong because women are wrong and bad and only masculine is worthy and important. And, it's affected both men and women. It's not pretty out there. Right. That's why we need men and women both raising children, yeah. It's not easy to do, that's right, because we've got to become whole in ourselves first. And who's doing that? Not many. Hopefully more. So it's getting clear on it in his mind, getting the ahas of what's light and dark, and it is all that, and it's okay, and it was always okay, and there was nothing ever wrong with his feminine side and his emotional side and all of that. Or anything that he has been judging in himself. The crone is getting wisdom from it. Wow, cool. Getting wisdom from it. Very nice. Wow, masculine's going through a lot. So, now we've got a bit of understanding of what the masculine's going through. Having to be okay about the feminine side of themselves to become a whole person. That's what it's all about. So give him a bit of slack. Shall we? Shall we cut him a bit of slack? And the message that I've been getting over and over again is women have had it easy, really, because we've had it hard. Society has just forced us to get into the masculine because it's been a man's world. And so we've actually had it easier. Because to eat and drink and have a house, we've had to be masculine. Have the men had to be feminine to eat and drink and have a house? No, they haven't. Have they had to be feminine for anything? In fact, no, not even for relationships, because we've been giving them what they want without going there. So the men are kind of behind because of that, right? You don't grow unless you have challenges. And if there's no need to do something, you ain't going to do it. Really. Right? You're not going to do it because we're lazy. Because we're lazy like that. Well, that was a good one, wasn't it? Anyway, that's what we've got going on at the moment, which is good. So it might take some time for them to come along in there, but I think there's some around already. Thanks everyone for coming along. Join our Facebook group here and check out my YouTube channel later because I'll be doing a pick a card read, putting that out. It's going to be a full tarot Celtic cross spread about your love life. Check that out. Thanks everyone. Thanks Laura for your donation. Just one today. I didn't get any on Friday. One today. You're being stingy. Maybe I should just not do mini reads and just have you donate for this great show that it is anyway. Because that's worth it. Donations anyway. Don't you think? Anyway. Have a good one, everybody. Let's do this all over again on Wednesday. 2 days' time. And hopefully I'll be even better then. Less sticky, fluey. I do seem to be getting better now. Have a good one, everyone. Thanks, and I will see you next time. Bye.